The scream echoed through the marble halls like a crack of thunder. It wasn't loud, but in that silent mansion, where every step was watched, every whisper judged, it was enough to stop everyone cold. Mrs. Hathaway, the housekeeper, dropped her silver tray with a crash. The maids gasped. And at the center of it all stood Clara, the young maid with trembling hands, staring in horror at the little boy who sat crying on the grand staircase. The boy's father, Mr. Donovan Hale, came storming in from his study. He was one of the richest men in the city, known for his coldness as much as for his success. His expensive shoes clicked sharply against the marble as he rushed to his son, Adam, a delicate boy of 8 who hadn't spoken a word since birth. "What did you do to him?" Donovan roared, grabbing Clara's wrist. "I didn't hurt him, sir," Clara cried, her eyes welling up. He was crying and I just tried to." "Enough," he barked. "Get away from my son. Guards, take her out." But as the guards moved toward her, Adam suddenly reached out, his small hand clutching Clara's dress, his wide, tearful eyes begging her not to go. It was the first time he had shown such emotion in months. Everyone froze. Clara looked into Adam's eyes, saw the pain there, the fear, and something inside her broke. "Please, sir," she pleaded softly. "Let me just explain. I think I know what's wrong." Clara had only been working for the Hales for 3 weeks. She was poor from a small town miles away and had taken the job out of desperation after her mother's illness drained every penny they had. The mansion was magnificent but cold. Every chandelier sparkled, yet every heart inside seemed frozen. The boy Adam had been deaf since birth, or so everyone believed. He never reacted to sound, never responded to voices. He had tutors, doctors, therapists. None could help him. He was trapped in silence, locked inside his own world. But Clara noticed things. The way his eyes darted towards sudden movement, the way his fingers sometimes twitched near his ear, as if something bothered him. She saw how his little face tightened in pain whenever loud noises occurred, even if he didn't hear them. She had wanted to tell someone, but in this house, a maid's voice didn't matter. And now, when she tried to check on him as he cried in agony, everyone thought she had hurt him. 2. Donovan's eyes burned with fury. "You think you know more than the doctors. My son was born deaf." Clara swallowed hard. "Please, sir, let me just show you. If I'm wrong, I'll leave forever." For a moment, the mansion held its breath. The housekeeper glanced at Donovan, and he gave a small, tense nod. Clara knelt beside Adam, her hands gentle, trembling slightly. "It's okay, sweetheart," she whispered, though she knew he couldn't hear. "You're safe." Adam's tears had slowed. He looked at her, trusting. Very carefully, Clara reached toward his right ear. She noticed something. Something dark, deep inside. It wasn't wax. It looked wrong. She fetched a small cloth and a soft light, then, careful precision, pulled something out. The moment it came free, Adam gasped, and his whole body shook. In Clara's hand was a small, twisted piece of plastic, like a broken fragment of an old earplug, hardened with time. The room fell utterly silent. Adam blinked, his wide eyes darting around. Then his lips parted. "Papa." Then every soul in the room froze. The little boy had spoken. Donovan fell to his knees, his face crumbling. "Adam, you can hear me." The boy nodded slowly, his voice trembling. "It hurts, but I can hear." Mrs. Hathaway began to weep. One of the guards dropped his hat, stunned. Clara could barely breathe. She felt tears streaming down her cheeks. All this time, years of silence, misdiagnosis, loneliness. All because of a tiny piece of plastic lodged in his ear. Donovan gathered his son in his arms, sobbing like a man who'd just been reborn. Then he looked up at Clara. Really looked at her. For the first time. You saved him," he whispered. "You gave me back my boy." But Clara shook her head, her eyes glistening. "I didn't save him, sir. He was always there. He just needed someone to listen." In the days that followed, everything changed. The mansion that had once been cold and silent now echoed with laughter and music. Adam began therapy and slowly regained his hearing. He started speaking, softly at first, then more confidently, and he never left Clara's side. Donovan offered Clara money, gifts, even a house for her mother. She refused them all. "I didn't do it for reward," she said quietly. "I did it because he deserved to be heard." Still, Donovan insisted on helping her mother's treatment. "You've given me something no money could buy," he told her. "Let me give something back." Months passed. The bond between Clara and Adam grew stronger. She taught him to read lips, to speak clearly, to laugh freely. And slowly, even Donovan began to change. The ruthless businessman who once lived behind walls of pride started to see the world differently. He spent more time with his son, less time chasing wealth. Sometimes, he'd catch Clara watching Adam play in the garden and feel something he hadn't in years: peace. One afternoon, as the sunset painted gold across the sky, Adam ran up to Clara holding a bouquet of daisies. "For you," he said brightly. She smiled, tears in her eyes. "They're beautiful. They mean thank you," Adam said, beaming. "Papa said flowers can talk too." Clara laughed softly. "Then tell them I said you're welcome." Donovan watched from the terrace, emotion clouding his eyes. For the first time, he realized that his mansion didn't feel empty anymore. It wasn't the marble floors or the crystal chandeliers that made it beautiful. It was love. And so, the story of the poor maid and the millionaire's deaf son became more than just a tale of healing. It became a reminder that sometimes the greatest miracles are born not from wealth, but from compassion. Because love doesn't just heal ears, it heals hearts. And when hearts begin to listen, even the coldest mansion can come alive again.